We're going to be watching Godzilla King of the Monsters. Yay! This is a movie that didn't make as much as it should have in the box office, and is basically a love letter to kaiju flicks, but I don't know, for some reason, which I attribute mostly to people seeing the Avengers. Like, I think a lot of movies this year underperformed because Avengers just sucked up everything like a fucking supernova. Like, even before Avengers came out, people weren't spending as much money in the theaters because they were just like, well, fuck, if I got to put away, you know, $50 to $100 to go see Avengers not once but twice, we better just keep all of our March movie budget that goes into May and April. So I love this flick. It's not perfect. We're not gonna sit here and blow smoke up anybody's ass. It's like any other flick. It's got its flaws, but I think it's a much better movie than Gareth Edwards' movie, which we'll be, of course, comparing it to. And it's a big dumb monster flick. I don't know what everybody was wanted out of it. So we'll get into it. I've also decided that we're going to be doing 1998 Godzilla sooner rather than later, because that shit needs to be addressed. And it's left me scarred, so it needs to be addressed. All right, so what we're gonna do is queue up your Godzilla King of the Monsters Blu-ray, online streaming service, what have you. I will have a time code on the video that'll tell you exactly where it is, so you can skip ahead if you want, or if you come in late, you can sync up. It's all good. And that's it. Without more preamble, let's set this fucker up. And we're good. That's good. Let me bring this up, and we'll start the countdown. Okay, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and why are we getting audio? Okay, yeah, we're getting audio, but we're not getting... Whew. Every time I do this, and I've done it many times, I still get nervous. Copyright gods are mean motherfuckers, man. Okay, stream is good. Everything's good. Okay, right now we're getting stomping and logos. Legendary. A very hit or miss movie film company. Sorry, I gotta turn this down because Godzilla just screamed in my fucking ear. Okay. This is weird. I know you want to establish that these characters were in San Francisco during the attack, but all right, most of people had been evacuated into either the shelters or off the out of San Francisco by now, and they showed the skydivers, the Halo leapers, but so much of San Francisco is in ruins already. And I'm not sure when this is supposed to be because most of that shit happened at night, and this looks like in the morning. The Halo jump didn't happen here. Now, color grading is also a thing in this movie, so they probably just wanted to make the orange there. But that always struck me as a little odd. If you wanted to put these people in the movie from a time perspective, use footage from the first movie. Since you have a built-in excuse as to why Godzilla looks different in this movie than he did in the last one. I don't get that either. How are the mass die-offs blamed on tracking Godzilla? Also, who funds Monarch? In King of the Godzilla, King Kong on Skull Island, the American government backs Monarch. This seems to be more international, which means it's either privately funded by the fuck who, or UN funded. Still not used to seeing Millie Bobby Brown with hair. Also, her father hasn't heard from her in months. In this day and age, it's a little fucked up. Also, it looks like there's a lot of red herrings in the beginning of this. She's saying she's worried about mom when, full spoilers, she's in on it. She isn't some babe in the woods. And you never put bacon on the pan and then turn your back on it. That's how you get grease fires. Far more dangerous than any kaiju that walks the earth. She's not a very good liar. This family dynamic needs to be explored a little. They lost the one child. He goes into a drunken stupor for 2 years and then abandons them to study predators. She buries herself in Monarch and recreating this orca and drags her daughter into this. Neither one of these are Parent of the Year. Again, I do like that Millie Bobby Brown kind of plays up the apprehension. So at least she's not all in on the Thanos like destruction of half of living things. Here's the reveal. We are not in suburbia. We're in China. So look, there's a lot of loopholes and there's a lot of plot holes in this movie, and the human element is kind of dopey, and the human characters are straight out of your Michael Bay cookie cutter cardboard human characters. But I don't watch Godzilla movies for the human characters, except for the first one. Bitch, convince him to leave. You know he's gonna die. I do like that there are carvings of Mothra as adult Mothra that, even though that Mothra doesn't look a thing like their Mothra design. So, from what I understand, Mothra was the first monarch creature ever discovered. But we don't know if they discovered a larva or an adult. We don't know if they discovered this cocoon and has been gestating for 50 years. Or Christ, 60, whatever. There's a lot of questions still that I don't think we're going to get answered in Kong versus Godzilla. There are a lot of name Easter eggs in this movie. Yes, that's what you do to a newborn. Light it up with a containment field. I love how they treat these monsters like they're not going to attack when you act aggressive for them. And it doesn't make any sense for her to not have tested this. I also think Mothra larva is kind of ugly. But I mean, Mothra larva back in the 60s was ugly too. I love how they think they can just terminate these things when they haven't succeeded in killing one. And given the range of the orca that we see, um, she could have done this from that control room. She could have done this from half a world away. I do like that threat display. Say hello to MacGuffin. I also love that she fucks up. And we never get to see Mothra cocoon herself in this film. Like, Mothra just. It's weird that this movie treats them so animalistically when the last movie tried to establish them as gods. Luckily, she found out the chill the fuck out acoustic. Yes, honey, go and touch the giant mutant moth. Moth larva. But again, these are not parents of the year, so we're not worried about that. And okay, right now we can point out, we're going to point it out later. The soundtrack to this movie is phenomenal because they got the rights to previous, like to the Iwakube themes. Now, you might say to yourself, there's really no reason for these guys to shoot all these scientists, but considering their plan is to murder most of the planet to save it, which we will also get into later, a Lannister always pays his debts. Yes, it's a good thing the acoustics calmed her down when all the gunfire might have roused her up again. See? Here's footage from the old one. This conceit is bullshit, but shout out to King Kong. I just don't get how a private organization has this much pull. I do like the human arrogance that they think they can just kill the monsters. Like, you did. Also, why isn't Monarch sharing this information? Message for you, sir. We're going to talk about Serizawa a lot in this, too. Because he acts much more like Dr. Yamane from the original Godzilla. And she knows all about symbiotic relationships with monsters. Bow, bow, bow. There's your trailer moment for you. He does bow. He's very respectful. Thank you, Judge Sykes. But they blurred out the faces. Okay, there's a lot of gags in this that are a little forced. Also, you have to wonder who's funding his research. Who is he working for at this moment? He's Gruff McDad Dad. Also, how the fuck did they find him out there? There's also a weird conceit in sequels when you have established characters reacting to new characters like they've known them all along, and it seems a little forced. You didn't, though. You were drunk. Also, they're not law enforcement, so didn't. Okay, angry guy is angry. Yeah. He's angsty. Mm. Convenient, ain't it? And please take a bath before we leave. My god, you smell like Predator. There's a lot of exposition that could have been edited out of this. This is part of it. Why don't you hate yourself for letting your son get crushed by a kaiju? Okay, here we go again. How do they even know the bioacoustics of Titans? They have Godzillas, they have the Mutos, they might have Kong somehow, uh, and they might. Mothra was in a cocoon. So, although when you see the map, you see a bunch of other. So they, but most of these appear to be in hibernation when King Ghidorah arrives. Yeah, most of them. It is funny that in Africa there's a Titanus Mokila Mabembe, which was the legend of the Brontosaurus. I love that Mark aspires evil to these creatures when Godzilla was completely ambivalent to humans. Alright, he was hunting the Mutos, the humans were in the way. It's not like he really gave a shit. Did you ever wonder about the logistics of actually building some of these super fortresses when you see them in movies? Like the logistics of the raft prison in the Avengers. And the construction. I'm in construction. I watch how long it takes them to make houses. This is a massive. This thing is the size of the Death Star. It is housing the Mutos. Like, there's a Muto corpse in here. The logistics of simply moving that corpse out of San Francisco Bay into a cage, which we aren't going to show. Tywin Lannister wearing Cammy White's hat. No? How? And almost every country has one of these suckers. They're intel, by the way, that didn't know he was going to take Mothra. Right. And he's the only one who's figured this out. Who I haven't talked to in 3 years and couldn't care less about. How does he think? How does he propose killing them? Look, not everybody here is a part of your little interpersonal drama. Ugh. Always show how badass your mercenaries are by having them fuck around with a butterfly knife. If it worked for Hit Girl, it'll work for you. And nobody's questioning the M16s? Mind you, also, this is a facility housing the most dangerous creature on Earth. You'd think they'd have more than 50 guys on hand to defend it. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. And there's your first hint that something's not right. He's picking out eye boogers. I don't get her sass. Like, if she didn't agree with her mom's plan, why is she here? Why didn't she call the authorities and go, hey, my mom's cray cray? The logistics of that pose. Atta girl, Madison. Keep them Easter eggs coming. Nom nom nom. Yeah, a lot of people believe in tactile contact. Yeah, all we needed was the machine. I will say I don't. I apologize for not knowing the actor's name. Tywin Lannister's pretty good as just Mr. Evil guy in this movie. And again, they're analyzing bioacoustics without an audio sample. All right, this one's for you, all you furries out there. Nothing could be more staged than that. Now, I will say, a lot of people bitched about Gareth Edwards not showing enough monsters. Then they were right. There weren't a lot of monsters in that movie. But there are not actually many monsters in Godzilla movies. Believe it or not. This one, you don't go very long without seeing a monster. Who's on the name? Whose name is on the marquee, you idiot? We also don't know why Godzilla's poking his nose out of his little temple home. Like, technically, they haven't fucked with Ghidorah yet, so there's no real reason for him to be active. I'll allow that, even though it's kind of bullshit. Yeah, come on. I will say this: Mark, as angry revenge guy, is at least not so full of revenge that he's an idiot. So, although how Godzilla's gonna know that their weapons are on safety? Even Sarazawa was like, "Are you fucking nuts?" We don't even know if Godzilla perceives individual humans as intelligent beings at this point. Do it. Obey the guy we've had on board for an hour and has insulted everybody. That's a pretty cool shot. There are a lot of really cool shots. Everybody can bitch about how it's always raining or snowing or whatever, but I love this movie. Yeah, I mentioned that everybody just starts obeying Mark because he watches wolves. I like how they use the gorilla pounding his chest allegory since they're setting Kong versus Godzilla up. That guy is the voice of the audience, by the way, just so you know. What am I doing? I'm setting up a trailer shot. Duh. Jump scare in three, two, one. That's Godzilla fucking with y'all. Well, that hasn't happened yet, but oh yeah. Mark's very arrogant. I don't know how they do course progressions. Like, he's only been swimming for like 10 seconds outside of his normal progression. So your projection's like from here to here. Again, there's no reason yet for Godzilla to be going toward Antarctica. This is almost a telepathic foreshadowing. Come on, look how far he's gone, and their projection is all the way to fucking Antarctica. I adore this movie, love it to death, but I am not gonna let go of that shit. Just like if I did that first episode of Picard. I love it, but man, are there some logical bullshit in that. Yeah, yo, you know what? Yeah, we are recording this Sunday that Kobe Bryant died. R.I.P. to a true gentleman of in the NBA, which is fucking rare. Also, back to the movie, they projected Godzilla's course without even factoring in the Hollow Earth thing. Mind you, they lost Godzilla and they're within minutes of the base. So he picked a wormhole that was like 100 miles from the actual destination. Also, they didn't have any monarch people closer than this flying fortress to get to the Antarctic just to see. I do like also that they think that Tywin Lannister is there to collect samples of Ghidorah rather than free him. When in the after credits sequence, it's what he ends up getting anyway. uh, I always get kind of sad that they did Sally Richardson wrong in this movie. Yeah, the sloth is the new kai. Some of the new kaiju is interesting. There's one that's just a spider, which is kind of meh, but the sloth one is cool. I don't know if they consider the skull things from Kong Skull Island to be kaiju like this. Remember, Eyes Wide Shut. We don't ever want to make a movie that bad. This is actually kind of a cool sequence because you would be so fucked in this environment. I don't like this alien pulling people into the walls bullshit when you should just be shooting these fucking guys. You don't need to grab them and pull them into the wall. Just fucking shoot them. We don't need to go for dramatics. I love how everybody just looks at him too. Mark? He's like, fuck this. Plenty of spare guns out there. It's practically Doom. I will admit, too, as far as Dr. Shen is concerned, when I first saw this movie the first time, I didn't realize she was part of a twin until she actually brought it up. When they show her sister, I just was like, oh, okay. That just might be me being a stupid white guy. I honestly don't know. I know very little about Kong. I've been Godzilla vs Kong. I've been kind of staying away. Oh, also, um, biologist specializing in acoustics just took out a military guy with a handgun. His one handgun versus their 5 machine guns. I do also like that there's a weird dichotomy here that I'm not sure it's intentional of her struggling between the bioacoustics of her mother and her father, even though she knows that her mother's batshit crazy and evil. It might be a subtle reference that I would enjoy. I just don't know if I give these filmmakers that much credit. Like, even the heartbeat in the soundtrack kind of denotes that. So I don't think it's unintentional. It's a nice touch, though. There's some subtlety in this movie. It's not all bombastic. Yeah, it would have been so much easier if they just shot him and waited to blow up Ghidorah. And we're gonna get into it, obviously. I fucking love Ghidorah. Like, this movie's version of Ghidorah is so good. And, like, as somebody who's been watching these movies my whole life, to see a big budget CG, well made Ghidorah was just fucking awesome. Like, even more so than Godzilla. We've seen Godzilla in iterations all over the place, but there's never been a non Toho Ghidorah that I know of. Or Mothra or Rodan, really. The only one I can think of really are the Trendmaster toys and like the Shogun Warriors Rodan from the 70s. Also, again, Mark is given a choice between his revenge or taking care of his family, and he still does the right thing and goes back for the soldiers. Very human, and not just your standard one-dimensional vengeful dude. Also, why the hell didn't the explosion wake Ghidorah up? And I also don't know why they can't be flying the fuck away. This thing works from like half a world away. Boom, explosion, bang, boom. This part is very like Roland Emmerich and Michael Bay. There's a lot of explosions and Yes, the entire facility collapsing on Ghidorah did not wake him up. The bloop 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 thing did. I'm not sure about Gigan. The toys for Kong vs. Godzilla have a Mecha Godzilla in it, which is really bizarre. I don't know how they make that leap. I love this. It's so cool. So many fucking limbs are coming out of the goddamn ice that anybody who doesn't know what the fuck Ghidorah is could not possibly know what the hell is going on. You said it. I also love how all three heads have different personalities. And, oh, it's just gorgeous. Like, Ghidorah has a legacy as a character, and this movie gets him right. Okay, we're about to see a very big injustice. Look at him. He's sneering at these fuckers. He's like, what are these fucking things? They weren't here the last time I was awake. Oh, we're going to see a lot of plot armor in this sequence, too. But not for every character, as you're about to find out. This is so fucking awesome. This is almost like Dragon Slayer-esque. Oh, shit. And just gravity beams liquefying guys. It's so awesome. I don't know, because I don't know how many more of these Legendary can make. Toho is definitely making a new Godzilla for 2020. Look at their licking up body parts. um, so we'll have to see. If they get another movie out of it, I'd love it, but I don't know if they will. Kong vs. Godzilla better fucking overperform if we want another one of these. Also, it takes like a minute and a half for that thing to flop out. And Tywin Lannister would have shot this bitch dead. Why didn't you shoot? I don't know. Why didn't you shoot? Stupid. That design on Ghidorah is so fucking perfect. It's not even funny. Every monster in this movie is streamlined, even Godzilla himself, because they took Gareth Edwards' version, which was very massive land animal design. It's very bear-like and has feet like an elephant. Because he wanted it to exist in our world, like a real world with real physics. This movie couldn't care less about fucking physics. 500 foot tall, 3-headed dragon can fly on those wings? Fuck it, do it, done. We don't give a shit if it would work in the real world. Kong and Godzilla will fight once in the new movie and then have to team up to fight another monster. Guaranteed. And they'll leave like Godzilla and Jet Jaguar at the end of Godzilla vs. Megalon. Just although there are some saying that it has a sad ending. So we'll see. But I'm staying away. I don't want anything. Oh, listen to this music. Bum, 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 bum. Getting Ifukube's music, and mind you, they couldn't get every theme. They only got 2 of the 4. Was a work of genius. Only the good monsters in this have their old themes. Look at that fucking... It's so fucking good. And here's where the plot armor comes in. But again, Godzilla and Ghidorah don't give a shit about humans. Oh, he goes right for a head bite. And there are a lot of criticisms of this movie that during the monster fights they cut away to the human drama. And I don't know who these people are or what Godzilla movies they've been watching. That's Godzilla 101. There is no Godzilla movie where, like, the closest one is Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and that's not even a good movie. Oh, the fucking Cobra thing. And I don't know how they wanted Godzilla and Ghidorah to fight in the Arctic and not have snow. I heard Angaros's scream there. I've never watched this with headphones on. I heard Angaros. No, no, no. That was Destroya. Oh, wait a minute. We have to... Hold on. I can't talk during this. Oh, it's so good. And he fucking misses. It's so awesome. Space Godzilla is the one with the giant... Oh, do I have a Space Godzilla in hand that I can get? Hold on. I know I don't have a Destroya. Yeah. Oh, I do have a Destroya. I have a Chibi Destroya. I love that. They're conferring. Here's Space Godzilla. He's got this giant crystals and everything. And here come the humans to save the day, because why not? This is a Chibi Destroyer. Can I? Yeah, Destroyer. I do like, too, he blocks missiles with his wings. That's fucking cool. There's a lot of cool shit in this movie. Yeah, no, Destroyer is a really good Godzilla movie. Everything in that movie is solid, except when the little tiny aggregate destroyers attack him. Yeah, Destroyer was 96. Christ. It was a long time ago. I also love that Ghidorah pieces out. Like, he has no idea what's going on. Yeah, they did Sally Richardson wrong. A lot of people didn't even realize she died. None of these guys want to believe that she's batshit crazy. I just said it. Come on, Sarazawa, get with the program. Look, nobody likes a Monday morning quarterback, Mark. I always love shots of Godzilla swimming that don't look like shit, because he's such a massive animal that it shouldn't work, but a lot of times it does. You know, there are other monsters in between. I do love Mark's the only ones, like, the people, you assholes. Here we go. Here's your Thanos speech. Let's just jump right into this. This is a fucking trope now, and I'm fucking sick of it. Nobody's gonna do this better than Thanos. They should just not do this anymore. Destroying humanity for the sake of the planet. Thanos, it was destroying half the universe for the sake of the other half of the universe. But it's the same fucking trope. And it's been going on for over a decade now. And I'm fucking sick of it. Find a new angle for your supervillains, please. Yeah, I now have every Godzilla movie on Blu-ray. Ridiculously. She's also justifying planet-wide genocide because of the death of her son. And I don't the movie leans heavily on global warming and planetary disaster, and it's just like, all right. Meanwhile, humans have been dominant species for maybe 20,000 years, give or take. We'll give mammalian hominids that. The dinosaurs ruled for 450 million fucking years, and the planet didn't say boo. And the Earth didn't release dick. Strip mining released the Mutos. Godzilla came awake to destroy them. And Kong has been on Skull Island since 1979 or 1973. So the conceit, the massive conceit here, is totally illogical. Oh, and anybody hysterical enough to think that the planet will perish because of human interference has so much arrogance in them. It's almost unthinkable. George Carlin said it best. The planet will throw off humanity like a bad case of fleas. The planet will be fine. We're the ones that are going to go extinct. Oh my god, you don't want to know how many Godzillas I have. If I could pan this thing, and it's literally over 100. I can reach over onto my TV and pick out 70. I can reach over and pick out 20 from this movie alone. Here, wait, let's see. Here's Rodan. Let me see if I can fish Ghidorah out of here. These ones are really hard to stand up without looking like shit. There's Ghidorah. Thank you, Mark. I have too many Godzilla figures. I'm on the hunt right now. Bandai released another cheap 4 set, and I got 2 of them, and I'm still looking for Destroya and Gigan. And this scene here could have been edited. These two are discussing their own faulty marriage in the backdrop of global annihilation. And it's just like, why? And again, independently, like, Monarch has not only been hiding these creatures and studying them without any, thank you, Jen, without any individual government's backing, they've also been preparing bunkers in case they all went nuts. And they have so many bunkers they couldn't find her. Yoo-hoo, you just laid out your evil plan. Don't you think it's time to enact it? I do wonder what she told Madison about this plan, because Madison seems horrified, but how could she not know what the fuck was going to happen? I love Jonah. Yeah, no kidding. Jonah just said everything the audience is thinking. If Madison is naive enough to believe that releasing all these monsters, listen to Beret Guy. He knows the truth. And, oh God, I hate that so much. Everything's gonna die if we don't release the monsters that are going to make everything die. No! It's just bad writing. Lazy writing. Like, if I was going to come up with a plot for this movie, I would have had her think they could control the monsters and do a control burn, and it just, everything goes fucking bullshit crazy. This conceit that, I hate it. I hate it. I love this movie, but the rationale behind it is goddamn stupid. Now, I happen to love this sequence. Rodan has never been this fucking badass. Never. He's never gotten the respect and just coolness factor that he gets in this movie. And mind you, he's always been alright. Especially the original Rodan movie, as the samurai of the sky who sacrifices his own life because his mate is dying in a fire. That's the coolest Rodan has ever been until this. But in this, Rodan's kind of like Starscream. And we'll get into this. That's not even my idea. I've heard that. Rodan is constantly attacking the leader. And he bows to Godzilla reluctantly. Oh, such a good design. Fuck me. And I do like Rodan's theme in this, even though it isn't Iwakube's, and it's not as good as Iwakube's, obviously. But Iwakube, his Rodan theme is majestic and honorable. Again, Samurai of the Sky. This is a fucking air raid siren. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. He's in it for his own gain, and he will always capitulate to the stronger. He's never quite strong enough to take over. Now, a Ghidorah Rodan sex scene would certainly be interesting. I'm not against it. A little kaiju porn never hurt nobody. But again, Rodan is so fucking badass in this scene. This whole section, he's just... You shooting missiles at me, motherfucker? You think you own the sky? Bullshit. The only problem I have with Rodan and Ghidorah in this film is I don't believe their screams are iconic enough. They're really generic. And I believe that they should have went with the oh, that still makes me hurt. I'm getting too old to do my Godzilla roars. This is so fucking just the devastation of his passing. That's so good. Look at fucking bye bye. Okay, this is also a conceit to modern disaster movies, which this is a disaster movie. God damn, watching those people fly up. It's they introduce these ancillary characters that you don't even learn their names, but we're supposed to give a shit that they're gonna die, and it's like, no, we don't. We don't give a fuck. I love how suicidal most of their plans are too. Look, we're gonna take Rodan. We're gonna fly him right into Ghidorah. What are you gonna do when you get to Ghidorah? Oh. Oh, that's so good. He takes out a squadron with one flap. Pop! Oh, it's so fucking good. Look at fucking. This is just brutal too. Nom. God damn it, Rodan's good in this movie. He's just so brutal and evil. And this fucking barrel roll move. Doosh, doosh, doosh. Do a barrel roll, Fox. And then. I cannot say enough good things about this movie's treatment of the kaiju. All of my complaints in this movie, for the most part, are about the human drama and all that other bullshit. But the monsters are so good. I have forgiven way worse movies for way less than how good these monsters are. This is such a great shot. I hope this syncs up. Yeah, it does. Even Rodan's like, oh, fuck! There it is. Ghidorah is so fucking evil and majestic. Very, almost vampiric, like, and demonic with the way his wings are very, like, evocative. I just, oh, that's a great shot, too. Yeah, this commentary is going to be 75% me just going, oh, I love it. That's another thing you never see is mid-air kaiju battles. And mind you, they were trying to evacuate a city, and they have like 12 people in this one ship that they're trying to save. Oh, god damn it. Do I have to do everything on this ship? Okay, funny, but Mark, you're saving lives. A lot of people shit on his performance, too. The guy with the white hair, again. I've seen this movie 10 times. I can't remember his fucking name. And he's meant to be comic relief, but most of his jokes hit. Fuck you. Oh, just crucify him and lightning him. It's such a good move. I could have done without this. This movie is one guilty of putting too much fan service and too much shit in. The oxygen destroyer, and God help me, I have to say it, burning Godzilla doesn't is not necessary in this movie. Like it's just it's too much. And also that Mark knows how to do this and nobody else does, like even figures this out. Like nobody thought of that, really. Mark, non-military. Oh, I guess he was part of Monarch, but he was part of R&D, not military. And also to save these 12 people, they murdered the entire flight crew, or the cargo bay people. Get down, stupid. Anybody want to tell the people up front to start hauling ass to get out of the fallout? Welcome to Godzilla Ex Machina. Great shot, though. Now, Godzilla just saved Mark's ass, so it should. This is the beginning of him being tolerable towards Mark, towards Godzilla, excuse me. Also, can you drown Ghidorah, who has the Wolverine healing factor? 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay. Alright, that's still fucking awesome. I'm sorry. It's always great when Godzilla rips off one of those heads. Now, mind you, they have no. There's zero explanation of what the Oxygen Destroyer does in this flick. It's just a gamma bomb, for lack of a better term. Like in 54, it destroyed all oxygen and water, which somehow disintegrated all flesh and water. Don't ask me. In this, they destroy an ecosystem. But oxygen is an essential part of water, so I don't know how that works. And they don't care to tell us. And I guess since Ghidorah doesn't need oxygen, he doesn't need to breathe, so drowning him's out too. Mark's like, are you rooting for the monster? What are you, fucking high? Now, granted, the conceit here is that he entered one of his little tunnels, I think. You piece of shit. Now, their reactions are kind of like in Godzilla vs. Destroyer. In the whole Heisei series, there's a G. Oh, wait, hold on. We can't talk about that yet. Not only does Ghidorah usurp Rodan's throne, it grows its fucking head back? Which is interesting and cool, but I think it would have been cooler to have him have two heads for the rest of the movie. There's your allegory right there. I think it would have been more interesting to have Ghidorah just have two heads for the rest of the movie. And then you could have removed the whole burning Godzilla side plot to begin with. Again, this movie needed just a little tightening. Just a little. It would have. It just would have been more. It would have had a lot more flow. Because we're entering the slow part of the movie. And I don't. I kind of don't dig the fact that whoever's running the pack decides the fate of the world. Like, Ghidorah's evil, so all these monsters are going to do evil. I do like, you see Rodan landing before Ghidorah and bowing there. You see? Look at Rodan's like, okay, you're the boss until I take over. I don't like that every monster is going to be evil because the main monster is evil, and then when Godzilla takes over, all of a sudden they're fucking philanthropists. Like, it takes a lot of the individuality out of their monsters, and that's just not. I mean, even if you give over to the fact that maybe they're terrified of Ghidorah, I don't dig that. I think it should have been revised. Yo, say hello to Miles Bennett Dyson, bitches! He is also the older version of the character from Kong on Skull Island, whose name escapes me. I forget. Maybe we'll hear it. But that was a really nice touch that they barely touched on. They'd rather do exposition about the obvious. Although I will say Mothra doesn't obey Ghidorah's prompting. Yeah, they it's a little weird that I didn't pick up on the fact that she's a twin until they mention it later. I'm usually much better at this sort of thing. Oh, Mothra's theme in this movie is so good. It has just the nice reverence of the Queen of the Monsters. It's so good. And even though it would have been really corny, I would have loved for the Twin Fairies to have been in this. I realize, I know why they're not. Although this is their little nod to the Twin Fairies that Dr. Lee is a twin. Oh, look at that reveal. Fuck, that's so good. When I first saw that in that first trailer, god damn it. She's saying I can fix this. There's an alien space monster. This is the slow part of the movie, from here until when Godzilla or re-emerges. Give her her due. Millie's acting her ass off here. This is a ridiculous movie to act your ass off in. Although we all know that Millie can cry on command and scream a lot, so. Mothra represents the cycle of life. So it's not every time. Well, in the old movies, she laid an egg right before she was about to die, and then a new Mothra larva was formed, who would then, run around as a as a larva, cocoon, become a moth, lay an egg. Mothra always represented the cycle of life. Yeah, here's more twin stuff. And they do show Infant Island Easter egg for you. Nom 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 nom. And I believe these are all actresses who played Mokujin, if I'm not mistaken, or they're supposed to be. Don't point your allegories at me, lady. I love he's got a fucking flask. He's fuck this. I need a drink. All right, I don't get this either. You would have thought somebody might have brought this up before now. They've they've had Monster Zero on ice for decades. I kind of do like that Ghidorah has a natural terraforming aura. Oh, no, not gone. I hate that joke so much. That's why they didn't give that joke to the white-haired guy, because it was too fucking stupid. That's a cool monster. And yeah, this reminds me of a Attack of the Colossus Titan. Oh gee, what you tried before didn't work. What a shock. Yes, because none of the countries affected have their own militaries. they're hunting. That is your thermal exhaust port of this film. There's your irony shot. Pow pow. Okay, this is saying that she was expecting Godzilla to rein in the Titans and use them as a force for good. Where she got this idea, I have no fucking clue. Maybe from Serizawa, but it's kind of a long shot to take this kind of risk on. Yes, bring them all to fucking Boston instead of somewhere remote. She is so fucking arrogant in this movie. She really deserves to die. She thinks an invincible Wolverine three-headed dragon, she'll figure out how to stop it. Yeah, that's a good question. This is one of the few irrational things that he does in this movie. At least, you know what, that's a good moment for him too, because for most of this movie, he's been a buffoon. And it just, here's Mothra Ex Machina. Or Deus Ex Mothra. I'll even take a symbiotic relationship between Godzilla and Mothra without too much trouble. And like Mothra in this, she still retains some of her mystic, like goddess appeal. Thank you, Shen. Including my own masturbatory habits. Yeah, I love that look Mark gives them. Oh yeah, wait, we just weren't listening hard enough. No thanks to you fuckers. Just symbiotic relationships between giant dinosaur monsters and giant moths are kind of unique. Well, we just need one. Uh, okay, there's another weird conceit that I'm not enough of a scientist to know, but nuclear material would heal him, but they blow the fucker up, which means he absorbs the blast, which I, I don't think that's how that works. Radioactive fallout is one thing. Absorbing all the power from a blast is quite another. That being said, Zombie Godzilla, kind of like decomposed from Inhumanoids, and I'm kind of for it. Yeah. Mulder's job in this section of the movie is to just hang. I do like that they brought Sarazawa's pocket watch back. Although, Mark. Oh, that's right, this is the joke. Why are they whispering? I know they're in a sub, but. We still don't know the circumstances, too. How do we know the Muto didn't do it? Sarazar's arc in this movie is super good. Like, he is much more Dr. Yamane from the original Godzilla than he is Dr. Sarazawa. But the sacrifice is the exact opposite. Again, he sacrifices his life to save Godzilla rather than kill him. It's it's a cool arc for him. And I mean, what it's Ken Watanabe. You don't get much cooler. Okay, but fortune cookies are inherently Chinese and he's Japanese. I don't mind the joke. Just a little ethnically twisted. Yeah, sorry, my back started to hurt. I had to move positions. Again, though, here we are with this Hollow Earth thing. But why would a vortex appear? A vortex would only appear with a like a vacuum being filled, like an air pocket collapsing. I do like. Well, all right. I'll concede. They don't need the fucking orca anymore. Ghidorah is doing their job for them. But for them to not even have a an alarm system, they don't even it's just there. She can take it. It's cool. Oh, the Godzilla anime was atrocious. Even I'm almost glad it wasn't a series because I think that series would have been terrible. But it could have been better with that much more room to have information. But man, that was just slow. So fucking slow. Like this half hour of this movie. Okay, I don't know how far inland water would have to come to flood Washington D.C. But if you reduce the eastern seaboard that much, you'd have flooded out what, Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, Jersey, New York. It's one part of this movie I'm not like. Boston itself might have been underwater with that much water. It's funny. Subs in the old days would just scrape something. They were like the Titanic. They scrape something and blow up. Although I guess Hunt for Red October, the subs all were pretty durable. I guess they'd have to be to have nuclear material on them. I'm a doofus. I love how they managed to put a jump scare in a fucking sub. That's what's her face's influence from Hereditary. Also, humans were sophisticated enough to build these cities and stuff, but we lost all trace of them. Or is the movie telling us that there were more advanced races way older than them and they just got lost? This whole section's a little wacky to me and long. Radioactive blob. That was my nickname in high school. You know what I love is that this is happening under Trump's watch, and I would watch a whole movie of Trump reacting to fucking Ghidorah, Godzilla. There's monsters everywhere, and the impeachment trial's still going on. Adam Schiff is blaming him for monsters. He knew about these monsters and he didn't do a thing. Alright, that's insensitive to flipper footed people. Just saying. And I don't know why the other two blip out, but this one doesn't. Terrible joke. Alright, you know what? That's his one bad joke. And we're gonna blow it the fuck up. Bullshit. This is all a giant MacGuffin to give Sarazawa a sacrifice. Wouldn't you want to use a healthy red shirt for this, Dr. Sarazawa? Like, Washington's flooded. Even if you just put an influx, why these guys are back out there fighting the monsters, I don't know, but even if they just flooded the Potomac, that would still be states of flooding. Like, the end of this movie, the world is kind of fucked. I do like that the Muto's there, but where the hell did it come from? Like, I think the Muto's there strictly so they didn't have to design another monster. I should have put a bullet in your daughter's head the second I saw the bitch. Again, these two keep such terrible track of their kids. They never know what the fuck they're doing. So I like his character. He's goofy, but when he needs to be serious, he is. I don't. A lot of people shit on him, and I don't know why. Again, Serizawa in the '54 Godzilla burned all his notes. He wanted his work to be destroyed. He wants his work to live on. That's why I have that little bumper sticker on my sub that has all those symbols that spell out coexist. Peace. That's weird. That picture's ahead of where it should be. I wonder if I fucked up. Yeah, the time code's right, so even if the pictures are fucked up, so be it. Because what you're seeing on the screen on the stream, or on the YouTube if you're watching it there, uh, we're not there yet. Usually I do them in 5-minute increments. Yeah, somehow navigation, propulsion, weapons, nothing else was like nothing was broken but the firing mechanism. Like, what would he done if he lost all power there? I don't know how heavy are nuclear weapons in these two movies. Well, in the last movie, although it was an old missile, but in this one, Serizawa, who is suffering from radiation sickness as we speak, just drags this thing up there and sets it off. And like he has to set it off in Godzilla's face, he couldn't have just gotten to the bottom of the stairs and went, you know what, we're close enough. Now again, yes, it's supposed to be poignant, and he's saying goodbye to Godzilla, who has been the object of his life's work. So, And again, that's his watch that survived. That didn't his father's watch that didn't survive Hiroshima. Because it was like, I set my alarm for 200 years, you fucker. What are you setting off another oxygen destroyer to fucking finish the job? I think this is the only part of Godzilla that was actually built. I think that is a real tactile thing that he touches. That's the only part of Godzilla that's physical in this entire movie. Yeah, they destroyed his the place he comes to feed. 35. Wow, there's still more than a half hour left in this movie. Do you mean, do I see a giant monster? No, not yet. This is the best piece of music in this movie, by the way, so get ready for me to have a little eargasm. The Maori chants with fucking dun dun dun. They jack his fire in this too. It's so great because in the first movie his fire was not impressive. That's a great snap zoom there, and that is a throwback to old school Japanese filmmaking. Bum bum bum. It'd be like great if like in Congo where everybody ran but him. I killed your son and I'd do it again. Peace out. He does slam his tail down. It does a little like fuck you. Kabang. Buster Wolf. This monstrous plane having VTO vertical takeoff and landing capabilities? No. Boston. Duh. That's a good callback. Was she planning on bringing his men? Very good, Jonah. Jonah's been listening to Blue Oyster Cult. This is dumb. Even he knows this is dumb. We don't. Yeah. What purpose does she serve anymore? Now, as a Yankee fan, I will admit to a certain amount of I hesitate to use the term glee. Yeah, those pictures are out of sync. Wow. That's weird. I must have missed a 5-minute marker somewhere. Oh well. So if you're watching this on YouTube or the thing that those pictures you're seeing are 5 minutes ahead of where we should be in the movie, and I apologize for that. That's a fuck up on my part. And why is she even still here? Set the thing up and fucking book it. You hear Ghidorah's sound, the sound of Ghidorah flying there. It's that beep, 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 beep. I caught that even in the theater. Because right now you should be seeing Ghidorah chomping down on Fenway. What? She's dumb. She's just. And then she unplugs it. And now we get our Jurassic Park moment. Ugh. There is nothing better than gravity beams laying waste to a city. Madison has the most plot armor in this movie, by the way. Oh, except for the orca, which just survived that. Let it out, 7. Or 11, sorry. There is a lot. I will give this. There is a lot of Godzilla arriving at the last minute to save people. My favorite Godzilla movie of all time is the original Japanese Gojira. You've probably seen that movie multiple hundreds of times. Oh, here's the music again. If my favorite, I love Godzilla versus Godzilla versus Mothra 64. I love Godzilla versus Mothra 92. Love Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 94. Um, I love GMK from 2002. So good. Bitch, run. But yeah, I saw Godzilla when I was 3 years old, and oh, this is so good. Boom. and I have loved him ever since. I'm 46. Yeah, that's why he'll never get into the Kaiju Hall of Fame. He's using PEDs. And here's burning. That's a good joke. Burning Godzilla was not necessary in this movie. There's one thing, and there's a lot of shots like this in this movie that show the monsters from human perspective that I think Shin Godzilla does amazingly well. Shin Godzilla is always shown from like the perspective of the humans, be it a helicopter shot or poor fucker. I'm gonna go get that monster. But I always love shots like this, like from the human perspective. It's one of the things that Cloverfield did really well. Oof, that tail whip again. Look, for a daughter he didn't talk to for like 3 years, he's giving his shit this much of a shit now is a little much. Oh, so good. Bite, bite, bite. Yes, Ano is a very good director. Oh, I love that she hears Mothra. Mothra to the rescue! Although it's odd that she shoots webbing as an adult, I have to say. Even Ghidorah's like, who the fuck is that? I saw 84, 85 in the theaters too. Oh, just right through a fucking building. Zero fucks given. I love how Mothra's ready to fuck shit up before Rodan comes in. I do like that Mothra kicks ass in this movie too. Like both Mothra and Rodan get serious quality time and do in this movie. I love how jets are just raining from the sky. It's so fucking wacky. This is so chaotic. Okay. Random thing said leads them to the daughter. Frankly, I like Millie Bobby Brown. I couldn't care less if they fucking killed her in this movie. This whole section where we're concentrating on getting her back and getting this fucking nuclear family back together. But these sections are very Cloverfield esque, where just shit's getting fucked up and the humans are just in the middle of it. Oh, Megaguirus is one of the worst Godzilla movies ever. Worse than Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. It's terrible. Megaguirus is so bad. I don't get how Ghidorah knew how to do this. Ghidorah was watching. Oh, that's still such a good shot. Jesus Christ. Although The ship has plot armor too. And how much electricity were they pumping through there? Add insult to injury, a plane hits him on the way down. Oh, poor Mothra. Oh, this is such a. She swats his face. I don't know why she's crawling up the building. I guess to get like height to take off. Just so. Oh, oh, so fucking brutal. Rodan looks a little Skeksis like in this scene. So good. Yeah, Mega Garrus was the sequel to Godzilla 2000 or Godzilla vs. Ogra now. Godzilla 2000 is not great either. Those two movies were pretty bad. I saw that Godzilla 2000 in the theater too. By the way, we're just gonna have to point out that she's in the tub, but there's like a ton of debris on top of her. Yeah, no. Sorry. And okay. Whatever her she's they CPR her, right? Let me before I let's see if I got this right. Oh no, okay. She just starts breathing again inexplicably. Thank God they don't CPR her. Yeah, there's no way she survived that. Sorry. See, this is one of the best scenes in the movie, and it's such horseshit. Those wings shouldn't be able to support Ghidorah's weight, let alone Godzilla's on top of this. And then he goes into the upper atmosphere where there isn't enough air to support the wings. But dropping him back through the atmosphere is fucking awesome. Oh, he did. That's a great finisher. Really, Ghidorah? I'm not a fan of Mothra's roar or screech either. Oh, but she is beautiful. And Ghidorah gives zero fucks. Now, Rodan did this in Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla 94. Look at that, he just slithers through the ground. It's so good. I love how they have a soldering kit and an electric screwdriver. Mm, he's just sucking radiation out of there. That's pretty cool. He's just sucking the energy right out of him. But Godzilla's gonna explode anyway, so this is kind of unnecessary. But this is just getting the human drama interlaced with the monster drama. It is still Godzilla 101, and I don't have a problem with it really. Again, I just feel tighter editing. Just a little, give this thing one more edit pass, and it would have been fucking perfect. Now, I do have to point out, in the beginning of this section of the film, they showed the streets of Boston were impassable with cars. But you're going to see she has plenty of room to maneuver in this car. And like, how far is she going to get in a car? A mile? Ghidorah's can do that in like one flap of his wings. This is a redemption arc that is unnecessary. It's pretty fucking good though. Oh, sweeping building down, throws on the gravity beams. But she ain't dead yet. There's some hardy humans in this movie. Now, if the orca's done, they got no reason to be this interested in her. Why, thank you. My name is King Ghidorah, and I agree with you. By the way, people have said that maybe she didn't die. Yeah, Godzilla's very presence is melting buildings. That bitch is dead. Now, again, they say he's going off like an atom bomb. Now, it is awesome that Mothra's sound is in there and her wings are in that explosion. And I think that it's supposed to be inferred that Mothra's healing actually keeps him from exploding and just lets him, like, control this. Oh, there it is again. Pew! Do we get red flame? I don't even remember. Oh, that's a just ow. All's quiet on the Western Front. Now, early in the movie, they showed that San Francisco had been like lush with life and overgrown. Like kaiju presence just promotes life. Paul Revere, howdy, Paul. This is a pretty good fake out too, and I like the fact that Ghidorah is still kind of conscious. The only problem is his tops aren't lighting up. There they go. It's a pretty good finish. And there's a little bit of gravity energy on his lips when he finishes them off. Yeah, drop another goddamn oxygen destroyer on him and piss him off again, you dipshits. Now, this thing has come from like a long way off, and if all these monsters were right here, they could have helped. As cool as this ending sequence is, I'm not a big fan of what it infers. This is his fucking. Look at that. This is so Starscream. You're an idiot, Starscream. But it's also very Chamberlain from Dark Crystal. He does look like a Skeksis. And I'm not sure what you're gonna do with Kong on versus Godzilla as far as like the world. Even though all this shit is you know, the credits go over this weird montage of like kaiju being helpful. Yeah, fuck you. I love this movie. I'll gripe about little things. Fuck you. I love this movie. Good job, Michael Dougherty. This is a good remix of the Godzilla Blue Oyster Cult song too. Yeah, Rodan's in Fiji. The rainforest blooms. They find an egg for Mothra's next incarnation. Like, yeah, this is all inferring that kaijus are giant ecologists just by existing. Godzilla keeps the Titans in check. But there's a thing on here of like and this is all Muto shots from the last movie. Cilia is a squid monster. Travels on Carnival Breeze. See Godzilla. Like seeing Godzilla's like, oh hey, look, it's a kaiju. Hi, take a selfie. Titan waste could be viable fuel. Seismic disturbance on Skull Island. Good shot for Kong. New Titans drawn to Skull Island. This is all setting up Kong versus Godzilla. Monarch finds a massive egg. Like, they're setting up a lot of shit on Skull Island. There it is. There's our next movie. Like, I'm not even afraid of oh, absolutely. People would lap the smog monster up these days. I'm not even worried about Kong versus Godzilla making money anymore. I'm pretty sure that's the end of it. I don't want it to be. I think that these movies are good. Um, but Toho is going to be making them again. Like we're not. It's been unprecedented. Like we got Godzilla in 2012. We got Shin in 2016. We got the anime ones between then and this, which is 2019. And we got Kong versus Godzilla. I don't think we're going to get many American kaiju movies anymore because they just stopped making money. You know, the original Godzilla made money, the 2014 rather, and Pacific Rim certainly did. But Pacific Rim 2 was a fucking bomb, even though I personally thought it was okay. Um, and this did not make money, and which I still, they just hadn't released this the same year at the same time frame as fucking Avengers. Like, this was right between Captain Marvel and Avengers, and Disney just soaked up so much fucking movie money this year that nobody else could compete. It's really unreal. Like, there's no Disney movie now, so Bad Boys fucking 3 makes, I think it's up to 100 million domestic almost. And again, I'm not going to shit on it because I haven't seen it. I'm not a fan of the. Sorry. Mothra seems going. I can't think. You mean after Kong versus Godzilla? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I hope so. Because I don't think they're going to use the after credit sequence in this movie in Kong versus Godzilla. And I'm hoping that the November release will be a little better, but I don't think it will be because November's so fucking crowded. I don't know why they're afraid to release a fucking Godzilla movie in the summer. It's always fucking May or April where goddamn Marvel movies have stuck their goddamn flags. But at least this year there's no Star Wars or anything to worry about in November. But we'll see. I don't know. Yeah, and Spider-Man, you're right. And The Lion King and The Incredibles was The Incredibles 2018? The Incredibles might have been in 2018. No, wait, was The Incredibles this year too? Because I thought Wreck-It Ralph was 2018. Regardless, Disney was the Godzilla of movie companies this year. Nobody could fuck with them. Even their bad movies were making $1 billion. It was unreal. I mean, look, Captain Marvel's an okay movie. It ain't $1 billion movie. And I thought the Lion King remake was derivative. It was okay, but it wasn't great. Give me hand-drawn animation over CG any day of the fucking week. I thought Spider-Man was a $1 billion movie. That was really good. I mean, of course, Endgame was just fucking virtually flawless. Can't really shit on that. Lion King, Frozen 2, Star Wars. Disney made like $12 billion this year. If it wasn't for all the 20th Century Fox movies falling apart for them, they would have had a perfect run. So I think there was a lot of fallout for this. And it's not the only one. There were a lot of big budget movies that really underperformed this year in the wake of the fucking Disney onslaught. Yeah, Frozen 2 was huge. It was $1 billion. Like, Disney's at the point now where if a film doesn't make $1 billion, they're like, I don't know if we're going to do that again. They're making a live-action Bambi, for fuck's sake. You were going to show Bambi's mother in photorealism get shot? No, of course they're not going to do that, but it's going to be implied. I mean, and next year they've got. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next year because I don't think the Eternals is a sure thing. It'll be interesting to see how New Mutants does. It'll be interesting to see how Mulan does. I don't even know. That Pixar movie about like mythical creatures doesn't look like it's gonna be $1 billion. Oh Christ! Are they really dragging Harrison Ford's corpse out for another Indiana Jones? Wow. I guess that he didn't keep drinking from the Holy Grail. Unless it's him like now. Sorry, the music's going. Getting Ifukube's music for this movie is a fantastic touch. It adds so much. I just wish they could have gotten Ghidorah and Rodan's themes. But there was a licensing this movie music is an expensive thing. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen Bambi, but I know that they're gonna remake it in live action, and it's gonna be traumatic. I saw The Lion King with a friend, and they brought a little girl with her, and the hyena scene where they're chasing Simba and Nala through the elephant graveyard was like traumatizing to her because it was photorealistic, and they're not twigging that. They're not understanding that photorealistic stuff is making like the three hyenas in the movie in the animated one are so goofy they're kind of hardly a threat. When you got photorealistic hyenas snapping their jaws right at your face in the camera in IMAX, that's some shit. Pretty soon though, Disney's gonna have to start either remaking remakes or coming up with their own IPs again because they're running out of shit to remake. No animals were harmed in this movie, but kaiju's got fucked. So I mean, when this came out, Yoshimitsu Bano and Haru Nakajima. That's a great tribute. This while this was being in 2017, the guy who played Godzilla for a great deal of his career passed away. Aldemara. And we get a credit sequence. You know why? Because they'd have to have 7 dwarves, and it's not politically correct. They can't do a live action Snow White. I love how Ghidorah is a mere. Even the presence of a dead Ghidorah is like destructive to the planet. I would love for him to create Gigan from Ghidorah, but we'll see. They can squeeze another couple of movies out of here. That must smell glorious. Bet your ass you'll take it. Wonder how much a head is on the black market. So that's Godzilla King of the Monsters. I fucking love this movie. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It is big, bombastic, stupid, with paper thin plots, and I fucking love it. Wow, that's bright. We better bring something up to take the brightness off of my screen because that's fucking bright. Alright, that's it for Godzilla King of the Monsters. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I love that movie. We're probably going to do another. We might even do Kong Skull Island next week. Might as well finish off the Kaiju verse. Maybe. Maybe we'll do the original King Kong first. I am not going to see the Harley Quinn movie, and I adore the animated series. The animated series is so fucking underrated, it disgusts me. And I think that the Harley Quinn movie is going to bomb. Because no one understands why Harley Quinn makes money. And it's basically Margot Robbie's ass. Nobody wants to see a full movie of her as Harley. And her weird accent that's all over the place. So, that's Godzilla King of the Monsters. So many people shit on it when it came out. I don't understand it. I adore it. I can't imagine any fan of Godzilla movies not liking it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But so we'll yeah, we might do King Kong next week. Maybe we'll do that. I like doing these on a Sunday night. It's nice and easy. We'll have to see though what we're up to, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Kong on Skull Island, and then maybe we'll do King Kong 33 after that. So, thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for hanging out, Dennis. This will be up on YouTube in a day or two, and we're either going to be doing Stella or Odalis this week before Return to Final Fantasy VII on Saturday. And my Final Fantasy VII raw stream footage it's a 5.5 hour video. It got a downvote within 10 minutes of being put up. I must have been really annoying. So, alright, that's it. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Hope everybody enjoyed it, and we will see you on the next stream sometime midweek. Peace!